Guess I shouldn't be surprised. I've been here one too many times. I've chased desire on my skin, let the heat sink in. Saw it coming from a mile. Know it's been a little while. Felt the embers from within, let the heat sink in. It's all coming back to me. The sleepless nights when it's hard to breathe. Watch my emotions take the lead. Can't control what it does to me. I remember how it hurts. Remember how it hurts, and it's so good to me. I remember how it tastes. I like it in the flames. Oh, it's so good to me. It's so good to me. It's so good. It's so good to me. It's so good. It's so good to me. Tell me I'm not here alone. I'm the one you want, then take me home. I'm just love drunk, caught up. Love or lust, what's up? It's all coming back to me. The sleepless nights when it's hard to breathe. Watch my emotions take the lead. Can't control what it does to me. I remember how it hurts. Remember how it burns, and it's so good to me. I remember how it tastes. I like it in the flames. Oh, it's so good to so good. Oh, it's so good to me. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good to me. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good to me. Oh, it's so good to me. Oh, it's so good to me. Can anybody hear me? Tell me, am I on my own? Feeling like I'm falling. Deeper I go. All the things that we said. Wishing I could turn back time. Living in my own head. Oh, I'm slipping away everything we had. Hard to let go, but we both know we can't go back. Oh, do you see what I see? It's time to break free. Ashes to dust, all that remains. What's left of us and all our mistakes. Oh, do you see? Oh, it's time to break free. We're burning out, getting so tired. Every word feeds a flame, dancing on the edge of a life. Why love's not a game. We got the rules all wrong. Said we put each other first. Now it's all said and done, and we're left with the hurt. Slipping away everything we had. Hard to let go, but we both know we can't go back. Oh, do you see what I see? It's time to break free. Ashes to dust, all that remains.
take you home tonight. I can't look away. I can't make you stay. I can't look away. I wanna fall in love tonight, but I'm drawn in by the blue light, the empty glow on the inside. No, this ain't love tonight. I can't look away. I can't make you stay. I can't look away. I can't make you stay. I can't look away. I can pull myself away. I can look away. I can pull myself away. I can look away. I can't make you stay. I can't look away. I can't make you stay. I can't look away. I can't look away.
Do you know where we'll go? You've always been home to me. No, for all of my
And welcome everybody to the post show, one of the last post shows, potentially the last post show, at least for online tournaments this year after the Autumn Championships. We've had an amazing season so far. It's coming to a close, but it's not over yet. We're going to wrap you up or really recall everything that happened over this weekend for the Autumn Doubles Championship. My name is Sparky878. Joining me here on the desk is PJ.
Yeah, I'm feeling great, man. You didn't ask how I was feeling now that I think about it. Every time you segue, you always mix me up a little bit. Just like when you try to do team combos with me.
I'm
but
just a little bit different, man.
Thankfully, the teams that won this weekend had more synergy than we do on the Nest because we saw some great 2v2 action this
I
weekend.
Thought we had great synergy. I thought we had great synergy.
Yeah,
maybe I'm evaluating this relationship a little bit differently than you are, and we might have some problems.
Yeah, there might
here
be like
that
a disparity of understanding of the way
I'm
that
gonna
our
get on the
comp
plane.
works,
I'm
right?
gonna be thinking about
I'm like
this the whole
point guy, you're the
time.
support guy. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
Like you got the
yeah.
spear, I have the hammer. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've seen your hammer in twos.
Yeah, yeah.
And you've seen my spear in twos.
Yeah.
It's not. All right, so we had a lot of stuff happening this weekend. We had, of course, all of the regions, Southeast Asia, followed by Middle East. Then on Saturday, we had Europe in the morning, South America in the afternoon. And then, of course, on Sunday, we had North America, like we always do. We just kind of want to recap everything that happened. We want to throw some highlights up there. And then just kind of chit-chat about, like, what this tournament specifically kind of means for the end, the cap on the online season of Brawlhalla. Because it was a very important tournament. It was the final online tournament. We were saying that all weekend. The final online tournament of this year, leading in to BCX. And we might as well mention BCX since we're right here at the beginning before we get into things. Hopefully we can throw that up on screen. BCX is coming November 21st through the 23rd. You can go to brawlhalla.com/BCX to find more information, get your tickets, get everything settled. Because if you haven't purchased your tickets and you haven't booked your hotel rooms, time is running out. It's going to be the best tournament of the season. It always is. It seems to get better every single year. BCX 2025. Go to brawlhalla.com/BCX.
Hey, something to note as well is that if you haven't already signed up for the competitor badge, you can still do so. $55 gets you 3 days of competition alongside a swag bag. The VIP has been sold out, but you still have a chance to enter as a competitor. And also, if you go on to your favorite social media and just search the term LFT, you will find somebody that is good at twos that is looking for teams. After Autumns this weekend, I went on Twitter, immediately started seeing people saying, I'm looking for a team, looking for a team, looking for a team. So if you have somebody in mind, make sure you start locking down those teams as we approach, and make sure you get your accommodation set. Once again, we are at a new venue this year, so you got to make sure you are at the right hotel, in the right place at the right time. Make sure your flights are set. You don't want to miss any of the action at BCX, a 3-day celebration of Brawlhalla Esports.
All right, let's break into our regions and kind of go through what happened this weekend. Some people weren't able to see some of the regions, so let's fill them in here, PJ. Coming in at SCA, I want to give the top 4 of this here. In 4th place, it was Plum and Yunpyo. In 3rd place, it was Sire and Vortex. In 2nd place, it was Sageru and Eero, and in 1st place, it was Phronix and Keith the Poo Poo. And I honestly, PJ, I don't know what to say about Southeast Asia right now because they had a lot of shakeups in their team specifically for Autumn Championships. Like right before this, Eero was playing with Sire, Vortex was playing with Keith, Phronix was playing with Tax Evasion, Plum and Yunpyo were the only ones who were playing with their like original normal teammates. So I don't really know what this means for the region going forward. Is this just Southeast Asia being like, you know what, let's just shake things up here at the end. We might as well like try something different, play a little bit of musical chairs or a little bit of square dancing and have some fun here and just try something different. But one thing that was important for me to see was the redemption arc from Phronix. After the last doubles tournament, the summer championship, where he was cranking back that Lance recovery all the way at the top of, I think it was Miami Dome, it might have been Fortress of Lions, and he got taken out in yellow by the opponent and then just lost the game, lost the tournament because of that. He ends up coming out on top here with Keith the Poo Poo.
Yeah, you know, I have a metaphor for Southeast Asia. I'm gonna try it out here.
Okay.
Southeast Asia to me is kind of like the cliche of TV shows where there's like a little microorganism that somehow becomes a civilization on a table.
Okay.
And right now, this is like the part of the episode where someone bumps into it, drops a teardrop onto it, and it's just complete chaos. And that's what happens in Southeast Asia. It's a microcosm of Brawlhalla. They create their own environment. A lot of them don't get to travel to other stronger regions or to BCX or other LAN events. So you're seeing them kind of create their own little environment for themselves where they can thrive. But then this time it's just like they're just swapping teams. They hit the shuffle button. Like you said, the only team was Plum and Yunpyo from Thailand that were able to. I don't even think did they make it to top 4? I think they did.
Got
right?
4th.
Okay, they got 4th, right? So like they made it to 4th, but then everyone else is kind of mixing up the team. So I know there's been a couple people that have left Southeast Asia to go to other regions for school recently. That's kind of the age range that we're in Southeast Asia. Is they're ready to go into the next step of their lives and breaking up the region a little bit. And we might even see that here in North America, for example. But yeah, it's an interesting weekend, but congratulations to them for winning the tournament and the redemption, like you said, very important.
Yeah, it's just it's really tough to like draw conclusions and really analyze the impact that like this entire season has had on Southeast Asia because we don't know if like these are the teams going forward. We don't know if this was a one tournament thing. We don't know if they're still looking for swaps and maybe these aren't the swaps they're sticking with. So really it's just like, I don't know, this feels like a bridge between what Southeast Asia was and what Southeast Asia will be next year. And we're just walking along the bridge right now. We don't really know what's on the other side, but I'm going to be excited to find out whenever we get to the other side of that bridge next year. Hopefully some of the Southeast Asian players are able to make it out to BCX. Don't know if any of them are able to do that given how far away it is and how high the cost of travel is and all that. But still, a solid year for Southeast Asia. Keith and Vortex were doing so good throughout this year. I love the 1v1 base as well. It was like Keith and Tax Evasion going back and forth who's going to come out on top. So we've had a lot of cool stuff in Southeast Asia this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe there's going to be a community event coming up up close from NSIG for that. So make sure you check out I think it's challengermode.com/Brawlhalla for all of your esports action. There's going to be a lot of community events, so if you're looking for some practice or you just want to find out where you can watch some of your favorite regions fight before BCX, make sure to check out challengermode.com/Brawlhalla for more of that. We move over into the other quote-unquote sub-region in Brawlhalla. We have Middle East highlights coming up here. So this year, of course, Middle East finally getting their own spotlight, and they've been showing out pretty well. I feel like all of the events. I've been working remote for the side stream or whenever I'm doing like the the Friday, for example. I almost always do Southeast Asia, but I did Middle East for summers, and it was a really, really great region. I really love that region. And FXL, I mean, he seems to be the dominant force, winning with Poe. That's like the greatest team in Middle East ever, I think, maybe.
Yeah, in fourth place, it was Heavy and Itami. In third place, it was Yellow Flash and Sani. In second place, it was Comer and Sky. And then in first place, of course, it was FXL and Poe. I think they're going to throw the bracket up here at one point. You don't have to do it right now while we're looking at these highlights, but you'll notice, we got some double Thor. Yeah. It was a crazy swap. But specifically with this team, their team name on Challenger mode is Mena Goats. Mena standing for Middle East North Africa.
Yeah, not the Street Fighter player.
Yeah, they won with a 3-0. They won every seasonal doubles tournament this year from the winner's side, which means they did it without losing a set. Then, their team name on Challenger mode is Mena Goats, and like they've proved that this year. I have a lot of confidence in this team to be the main defining team for this region going forward, and it seems like everybody else is playing catch up. They're putting in a solid effort. Don't get me wrong, but everybody else seems to be playing catch up here with Poe and FXL.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're going to continue to dominate the region if we keep locking in double Thor.
Yeah.
No, but shout out to them. They try to make it work. Thor had his time in the spotlight when he was initially released as a high defense legend in the meta, but didn't able to get it done. I mean, I don't think FXL and Poe will ever lose. I'm going to call my shot right now. I don't think they ever lose ever in Middle East. They're even able to go into Southeast Asia, a region that they have like higher ping to, for example, and they still get second place. They're always like a constant threat, even in Southeast Asia, coming in for Mena. So yeah, Poe, FXL, Mena Goats, they earned the title. Yeah,
other than Poe and FXL winning, though, that's like the given that we all expected going into this. But other than that, the SEA podium did not have a top 3 seed on it in those other 2 spots. Comer and Sky went in C4 and were back on the podium after a tough 5th place finish in Summers. So they ended the year with a strong finish. Love to see that. They can be proud of that for sure. And then Yellow Flash and Sani went from just inside of top 8 with back-to-back 7th place finishes in Winter and Springs the first half of the year, now to back-to-back podiums with 3rd places at Summers and Autumns. So they took that solid placement in like the beginning of their career, and they've now turned that into top 3 consistency for the second half of the year, doing it with back-to-back placements in tournaments. I'm loving Yellow Flash and Sani right now. I think they can also be really happy with the way that this season ended. Maybe they were looking for that top spot, or maybe to push through to that silver medal, find themselves in that grand finals, but still back-to-back 3rd placements for their first top 3s in their entire career. Fantastic work from Yellow Flash and Sani.
Yeah, and we move over to one of the major regions in Brawlhalla, the first major region on every Saturday broadcast. We have EU coming up with their highlights. Congratulations to Munir and Acno for taking that event. Munir and Acno did a great job with that, but we're going to start off here with some Jakey and Saphir highlights, a team that we had in our top 3s, always in contention, but yeah, they did really, really well. Kick and drive their way into a silver medal. Yeah, they did a really good job there.
Yeah, Jakey and Saphir making top 3 is not really a surprise at all after their win at Summer Championship. We know how good these 2 players are. We love their comp as well. The only time they missed the podium in their last 4 online seasonals that they played together, this included some in 2024, was a 4th place at Winter Championship this year. So they're regularly in top 3. I know they were bummed to come in second. Like Jakey even tweeted out, like, second place was Saphir, sad times. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to BCX. I believe both of them are making it to BCX. So I'm looking forward to what they got for us in that bracket. I expect a really solid finish from them. I'm loving the Olgrim. I'm loving the Teska as well. Anytime there's a Teska in the comp, I'm really happy with that. You can just liquidate stocks like nobody's business. It's such a scary legend to deal with. You can end every combo with a very solid signature and get those KOs super early. It just feels like the signature kit is so core to the way that legend plays, and everybody who plays that legend well, they always end with like 4 KOs, 5 KOs. It seems like every game.
Yeah, it seems like the literal perfect legend. And it makes sense that it's the luchador wrestler of Brawlhalla that is really good in the 2s format. That makes a lot of sense. It's very on brand, and I feel like we'll be definitely seeing a lot of Teska moving forward into BCX. But Munir and Acno, I said it a little bit earlier on. Congratulations to them. That's going to be Munir's 2nd gold medal here at the 2v2 space. Was able to win Springs with Taya, and then now coming back into Autumns with Acno. This is their first time teaming together in a tournament, and Munir and Acno take the tournament. Congratulations to them. And I believe they're going to both be at BCX, so this could be a team that we all need to look out for going into BCX.
And this is also really important specifically for the more like online space, or really just the overall general Brawlhalla space, specifically for Munir, because it further solidifies him as PR1 in this region, something that in and of itself is really important to him. He was so stoked to get that, like anyone would be, but specifically Munir really wants to have PR1 in both game modes, and the only way to do that is by getting it in 2s, maintaining it in 2s, and then getting it in 1s after. So he's going to have to come out big in BCX. It's definitely not going to be easy for him, even though he's a very gifted player. But we also might see Acno overtaking Blaze. Blaze is currently PR2. Acno and Blaze have kind of been right next to each other, if not tied for so long, just because they were the only ones playing with each other, so they got the same PR points. So we'll see if Acno's able to overtake Blaze at PR2, given how much better Acno placed alongside Moonier winning the tournament compared to how well Blaze did with knees.
Yeah, and what we got to see was quite an interesting comp pick from them. Acno obviously has been really good on the bow for like ever now, obviously playing a lot of Diana at mid-season as well. But then you also have on the other side of it a Tesca pick for Moonier. So he did swap to Teros in a couple of games. I believe it had some varying success, but we're seeing double gauntlets make its way into the meta, even in EU, a region that's dominated by heavy weapons and spear. You see a lot of Ulgrams, you see a lot of Brins, a lot of axes, spears, and rocket lances. Instead, they take the very South Americans or maybe even NA approach of double gauntlets, rush down your opponent and find these combinations, and they did a really, really good job of that. I think Devil Jin and Tesca have incredible signature synergy. Moonier being able to play the Tesca and then always find a way to connect it into one of Acno's moves to find those KOs early. It really nullifies the weakness of Bo in the sense that Bo can't find KOs, but when you have the signature kit that follows up off your teammate, it's very, very strong. This is a very, very strong comp, and they look very, very poised to do well at BCX.
There was a GC. Oh, yeah, okay. We have a really cool clip that we specifically wanted to highlight this here. We got it queued up for you right now, and we're going to get into it. You see the Gravity Kit's a platform already coming out from Moonier on the right side. He picked up his weapon. Beautiful pickup. And then we're going to get into an edge guard here. There's the side light. Sends down. There's the side sig. Okay. There's the splash.
Yeah.
There's another splash.
Yeah.
And then what happens after that? Okay, Jakey thinks he could get something here, but there was a neutral after that. I think he might have lost that stock shortly after that. But big splash. And then Saphir's caught right in the middle after they get that stock. He started that at yellow.
Yeah. Watch
that
Moonier,
side sig, boom.
Watch Moonier after the down
Send
sig.
back, boom. He's now orange.
He's like, I got you, bro.
Splash.
I got you. I'll trade it. I'll trade it. Nope. Moonier rides the momentum. GC Ensig gets the dunk off the bottom. It didn't work out for them there. Yeah, that's a crazy, non-rehearsable combo. That's just like something that you're just on the fly, ready to go. And that already shows like this is their first time teaming together, and they're already doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's very scary.
They already have crazy synergy. I love that. Before we move on to South America, I do want to mention a couple of the other teams. It was a big weekend for J44L, as we're going to throw up the bracket here in just a second, for J44L and Kimono. I wanted to mention them because they placed really well. They placed well beyond their seed, and this was like a huge placement for them, coming in third place. I believe this was their first podium, if I'm not mistaken. So big work from them, loving that. Also wanted to mention Marker and Heartbleed coming in at seed 9 and placing 4th. They totally smoked Delta and Razox with a 3-0, but then ran into Moonier and Acno, and you're getting to that like truly upper echelon of player, and that's where they're kind of struggling right now. That's the roadblock they got to get past. But I really did want to give a lot of credit. Marker specifically, the best placement was at a Middle East Winter Championship this year, placing 3rd. But when you go from the Middle East, a solid region, don't get me wrong, over to one of the big 3 regions, and you only drop 1 place from 3rd to 4th, that's amazing. I want to give Marker and Heartbleed a lot of credit going into this one because they showed some solid 2v2 team synergy as well, and coming in 4th place, fantastic work.
Also want to give a shout out to Seven and Rain, my friends there in the EU as well. They were able to get a 7th place finish. We got a lot of great top 8ers there, but hopefully they're able to make it out to BCX. I just saw you in the chat, Seven. Shout out to you. You made the run there in 1s and 2s. So yeah, great stuff. EU always a region that is getting a little bit more fun to watch over time. I feel like it was at the beginning of my first year in Brawlhalla, I was like, okay, it's kind of stagnant, the meta, but they've been mixing it up quite a bit. The teams have been breaking up. There's a little bit of drama as well, and I think that's what it's all about here in the 2 space.
Now we're going to move on to South America. In 4th place, it was Mac and Ian. In 3rd place, it was Kaina and Loras. In 2nd place, it was Wes and Vim 10 Kilo. And in 1st place, it was, of course, Lopez and Yuz. Now, Yuz and Lopez have back-to-back victories in online seasonals this year at both autumn and summer, so they're showing that consistency. It's a really scary team to deal with. They have a fantastic track record this year, though. 5 tournaments together. They won autumns and summers. They placed 2nd at winners. Their only real, like, slip, for lack of a better term, was 5th place in the first tournament they played together, so a little bit of growing pains in that. And then that was at the end of 2024. And then during the spring championship, we had that thing where we had to like cancel the tournament for South America and then like push it a week later, and that messed everybody up. That seemed to throw everybody off. All of the main teams we expected to be in the top spot, like they were not there. It was Sack and Reaper. Somehow Sack and Reaper were able to just like lock into that time change that threw everybody else off, and they just didn't deal with that. Yuz and Lopez couldn't handle it. A lot of other teams couldn't handle it. But the main thing we were talking about the week during the weekend, you just mentioned 7. You were talking about 7 DLA, but let's talk about Lopez's 7 as well. The legend pick coming out from him and the Vector coming out from Yuz. Love to see that.
Yeah, I feel like, so me and TK were casting quite a bit of the Yuzin Lopez sets, and we were very confused for the beginning of it. It's a very stark difference from what we see in a lot of other team comps. There's like macro strategy that's been created in Brawlhalla 2s. You have I like to call them like wall teams and swarm teams. So swarm teams are good at rushing you down, getting in your face. They oftentimes will find themselves positioning to stack on top of each other, and then they break off into an offensive where they're able to follow up off each other in weird ways where it's hard to split them up. So that's like a swarm offense. And then you have like a walling strategy. You have like Bryn Ulgrim, where you have, you know, one person that's playing point with a heavy weapon like Rocket Lance and Axe, and then a support pick with Spear, where they're able to create zones of space where if you go into the zones, you're getting hit with a 4-piece and you're losing the damage trade. Yuzin Lopez threw all of that out the window. They're like, what we're going to do is we're going to hold center stage. We're not going to move. It's not quite a walling strategy because they didn't go for any big combos. They didn't have big damage build, but somehow they were able to whittle away players over and over again until the game was over, and that's exactly what you needed to see as the game. I kept saying it all weekend long. As the game goes on, it favors Yuzin Lopez, and it showed there. They were able to win the tournament by basically doing the same strategy. They didn't edge guard ever. They never went off stage unarmed. They were constantly weapon starving. They were holding the center stage. It's a complete difference to what you expect to see in 2s. Everyone talks about team combos and synergy. You see here in a 2v1 there, they just don't go for anything. They have one person holding center stage, one person on the wall trying to hit them back off the stage, reset over and over again. This is a very different team comp than what we expect to see, a different strategy as well, but they made it work and they won. Yeah,
they're essentially an isolationist team that wants to completely split up the opposite team, the enemies who are used to playing together. So many teams kind of have a similar strategy where, like you said, they want to stack on top of each other, they want to play close to each other so that they can support each other. And Yuzin Lopez were doing a great job of like getting the one-piece follow-ups off of each other, but other than that, they were really isolationist. They were splitting the teams up so that they can't help, and then they were holding that center stage so they could follow up off of each other while everybody else was on the periphery, like on the outside of the fence looking in at what was happening to their teammates. So yeah, it was a really unique play style. Making your opponent uncomfortable like that is a super successful strategy on some like Sun Tzu Art of War type stuff.
Yeah, and I think what's the most interesting is like the most consistent combo we see Lopez and Yuz hit is Lopez Spear Endlight into Yuz Bow down sig. Like that is like the combo for them, and that builds damage like an incredible way. They both have really interesting stat lines where they're able to follow up of each other. But yeah, it's kind of like you know, in sports sometimes there's players that are like, the most simple way to win is like run the ball, for example. You don't do anything flashy, you don't go for big plays, you just take the yards that are given to you and you move the chains. And they move the chains over and over again, and they won autumns. They're your back-to-back 2v2 winners here in South America, autumns and summers, and a team that looks very, very unstoppable.
Another team looking unstoppable is going to be West and Vim. We can talk about them just a little bit here. You can see on the bracket right in front of you, they're the team of So Icy Boys. West and Vim coming out second place here, continuing to solidify themselves as like one of the top teams in South America. West has been a top 2v2 player for virtually all of his career since we started learning about him back alongside Power Ranger and alongside other people in the past as well. West is one heck of a 2v2 talent, and man, Vim Tequila's right there again, where we have another Tesca comp, and it's so scary, and then Vim's coming in with the Rayman, double gauntlets across the board, and Axe, and then you have the battle boots. Like, it's just a really scary comp. West has been running the Tesca in 2s for a very, very long time, consistently, really before anyone else was, or when everyone else stopped doing it, like right upon release, West was still going. He helped develop that. While we're looking at this, I do want to give a little bit of credit before we move on real quick. I know we're on a schedule here, specifically like kind of my schedule, because I don't want to be late for my flight, but Ian and Mac beat their best placement ever that they've achieved at Summers. Previously, it was a 5th place by now placing 4th in their 3rd tournament ever. The Zariel Taros combo was tearing people up. I want to give them credit. They're pushing past their best placement at the end of the year when things are so hyper competitive. I'm loving that from Ian and Mac, and I want to see more from them in the future.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to be moving over to my favorite region, the Sunday region of North America. And do you remember the 21st night of September? And I remember it because Experience ran through the bracket. But before we get into that, we have a story to tell. Experience and Fakey, Zen and Hideaway. So Experience and Zen, the team that was going into last year. Then this year, Zen picks up Hideaway. Mid-season championship rolls around where Zen and Hideaway are both in attendance. And Zen gives an interview. Ever since I saw Hideaway 1v2ing me and Experience, I always knew I wanted to team with him. Experience then goes on a crazy like a crash out basically on social media. I think he was streaming on Twitch at the time, and Experience then opens up at the next official tournament. I believe it was Summers, where he was talking a lot about his own experience, no pun intended, as a competitor, and a lot of the mentality that goes behind that, and how this will be the last year that he's going to be competing. He's going to be retiring. So Experience and Fakey also on the same train. He's like, all right, yeah, me too then. I'll go down with the ship. And then Zen's also like, yeah, this is the final ride as well. So for the 3 of some of the best NA players in of all time, they're going to be on their kind of last trip. So we were talking a lot about riding off into the sunset on a victory. And Experience and Fakey didn't just ride off into the sunset. They were cool guys with explosions at their back. They completely ran through the bracket. But Zen and Hideaway ending up at second place. They were the only team that was able to take a single game off of Experience and Fakey. For the rest of the tournament, Experience and Fakey didn't drop any games. Zen and Hideaway get the run back, but they do not win the tournament.
Yeah, this narrative that you just laid out in front of us, this is kind of one of my favorite narratives, period, in all of Brawlhalla esports right now, but especially in North America. I'm loving it so much. Just the pure like ego grudge match between these two teams, who not just like, oh, I want to win. No, I want to win. No, I want to win more. No, actually, I want to win more. There's a lot of history between them. It's teammates swapping between the two. There's, again, a lot of ego coming into this, and I love it so much. It puts drama, like, you know, productive drama, into Brawlhalla esports in a way that it feels like we might not have had in a while.
Yeah, for sure. And we're always about the narrative. You know, as broadcasters, they talk a lot about the fact that your responsibility is to push the narrative that the broadcast wants of you. And sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes we're constantly trying to make something out of nothing. But this time, in the North American space at least, it's quite an interesting story. And these two teams will both be in attendance at BCX. And of course, I'm sure Experience and Fake are going to be wanting to follow up the success here at Autumn's into BCX, because Experience and Fakey are your winners of North America. They did such a good job. Experience was on multiple 600 to 700 game wins, where he was sometimes he was losing stocks within 30 seconds and then not losing a stock again. He took more stocks than teams have. Like, it was just the most insane stats I've ever seen from basically any player. Experience and Fakey completely ran through the bracket.
Yeah, it was total utter domination from this team. I will almost certainly be putting them in my top 3 at BCX. I'm loving that between these two. But also, aside from that, with all of these retirements that you mentioned earlier, that means there's going to be a power vacuum here. And my next favorite narrative in North America is who is going to fill that spot. Once Experience leaves, once Fakey leaves, once Zen leaves, who is going to fill that spot? Is it going to be Balloon Boy and Radish, who ended up coming in 3rd here? Is it going to be the rise, again, no pun intended, rise of Rise and Soul? Or is it going to be Guichabu and Hexo, who were so scary with their setup with the Blaster's inlight into the neutral signature from the Queen Nai, or the neutral signature from the Queen Nai into the Blaster's recovery to get really, really early KOs off the top? Who is it going to be? Especially once Guichabu and Hexo are able to like develop that game plan a little bit more, because we're seeing it really successful now. Obviously, they ended up tying for 5th here alongside Seabass and Flower, but specifically, I want to see them develop this a little more. Just like in the beginning when Guichabu first swapped onto Queen Nai in 1v1, there was some slop there. There was some growing pains period where he was just ripping neutral signatures and missing them and getting punished every single time for it, but then he refined it and he's doing a lot better with it now. I want to see that exact same thing with this 2v2 team. But then we also got to talk about Seabass and Flower, man. Excuse me, like top 6, tied for 5th. That's crazy from this team. They showed us really something special here for one of their first tournaments, if not their first tournament, playing together. I really, really liked watching Seabass and Flower as well.
Yeah, they were a fun team to watch. You know, they were able to make it all the way into the top 6 of things. And yeah, I mean, Seabass, shout out to the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? West Coast, best coast. He was able to make the run with Flower there. And that's a team that I don't think I've seen before, but two very, very talented players in the 1v1s and 2v2 space now. A team that will definitely solidify themselves into more consistent top 8s if they can keep up this team comp, as well as the fact that, like you were saying, there's going to be power vacuums very shortly here in North America with 3 of the best players leaving. Then you know, I feel like, you know, you got free agents on the market, of course, you know, but then, you know, you like Balloon Boy, Radish, and you have Marky Moon, Future Bubble. I don't think they're going to be swapping anytime soon in terms of teams. They're probably very locked in, but this could be a team that, you know, they might stick around for a while. This might be them kind of getting their, you know, one chance season and then getting traded to a better team. Not saying that they weren't great, but they could definitely find themselves on different teams as well. So it's always interesting to see. Make sure you're constantly locked in on the socials, checking around what's going on, watching the moves happen. I'm going to start advocating for like a Brawlhalla app that just tells you all the team swaps there, and whenever somebody leaves or whatever drama comes with it.
Yeah.
It's always quite interesting the way that even in the middle of the year, in the middle of the season, you win an official and then you break up your team.
Yeah.
It's just the most insane thing I've ever seen. Reminds me of like Prime Fortnite in the beginning as well. But nonetheless, that's going to be North America looking very, very solid, and potentially with Experience and Fakey looking great and poised to win BCX maybe. That could be very cool.
I put Experience and Fakey coming in first, and I was very confident in that, but they have made me even more confident in how they're going to stack up against the rest of the world. I already thought a lot of them, but even more after this weekend. But this, of course, we talked about this is the last online weekend, but there still is a lot more competition, of course. We have the Autumn Royale coming up for the players who are able to qualify in the 1v1 tournament. Do we have the lowdown here? Yes, it is. It's Ahmet, it's Wes, it's Godly, it's Hughes, it's Radish, and it's Marky Moo. Those are the 6 players that are going to be coming to Atlanta, Georgia to play together. And, of course, that fierce round robin into that bracket after. And it's going to be another great Royale. Every Royale so far this year has been amazing. We've had interesting winners at each Royale. It's the final Royale of the year. You can watch live on October 12th.
You know what I'm seeing right now?
What?
I'm seeing a high-strength orb player locking in and saying, I'm going to stick with Petra, a legend that I've been saying since the beginning of last year is a pick that we need to see more in the 1v1 space. And Ahmet, who made a crazy run. There was a weekend where there were like 6 official or 6 community events, and I believe Ahmet either won Moose Wars or the Brawl League event over really great players. So Ahmet is a player that has been on the come up in the community events. It's really great to see him punch his ticket in with a great showing here. It's going to be Godly and Ahmet over Moonier, by the way. Yeah, Moonier, you know, wanting to make that run to the PR #1, but now Ahmet in the contention. High strength orb is the future. If you're at home and you're like, man, I can't seem to win, pick a high-strength orb legend, and it works. You see Godly as well picking over to the Dusk, but he was doing very well with Fate. And then on the other side, I think Radish is like, PJ, you're wrong. I'm going to play a middle-strength legend on the Red Raptor, but he is like the only Red Raptor doing it. He's looking really good. So as an orb player, I'm definitely
and
eating.
And Yupio.
Yeah,
we got to give credit to Yupio.
For sure, but at the LAN events, for sure, Radish is the orb representative in that sense. And then West with the Battle Boots, Markimu, of course, on the Mordex. And then you have just the completely left field.
We got Use on Priya.
I remember like Flower saying that we're never, like Chakram is not back. Chakram is very, very bad. The buffs that happen are non-consequential. They don't matter. It's not enough to bring it back into the meta. And then Use wins South America, the strongest region. If he wins BCX with Chakram, we need to really reconsider how we all repatch this, because I think Use is on a different level, being able to identify, okay, Chakram is going to be strong this patch, and then run through South America.
That's going to be the really interesting thing, bringing the Priya into the Royale, because the players that are there at the Royale, you're going to see some of your viewership rewards that you'll get from that Royale. But specifically, they know that Use is going into the Royale with the Priya. They know the players that they're going to be going against, so they can really prepare in ways that you can't for an open bracket tournament. So I want to see, given that specific hyper-focused prep time against Use's Priya, how will that work? Will he still come out on top? Will he still be able to dominate people? We'll also see more games of Use, just because we have the round robin, and in the bracket after that, we'll get a lot of games of Use's Priya to see how he's then developed it since specifically qualifying in the Autumn Championship as well. So we'll get to see developments, really parallel developments from Use's Priya, and then how everyone else is going to deal with Use's Priya, that they can then draw from everybody else who's watching the tournament. They watch that, figure out how to deal with that Priya that they then bring to BCX to help deal with the Priya at BCX.
And then Uses like, I'm playing Vector. No one plays Vector. And then it's over.
He just changes everything up, and they're like, I don't know how the D-Sig works, man. They reworked this character. I've not locked in this character since the rework. No shot. So yeah, man, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Use and all the players that are going to be there. I'm going to make my call here. I want Ahmet to win the event. I'd be really, really cool seeing another orb player find their way into the first place. And the King title going to an orb player would be very, very cool. But that is going to do it there. And we have one more thing to show you, or a couple more things to show you, actually. We got the Autumn Championship pack here. Is going to be a reminder to make sure to pick it up here. So that's going to, I believe that's a hammer, if I'm not mistaken.
That is a hammer.
That's kind of similar to the Harvest Scythe that we have in the shop as well. So maybe one day for those hammer players out there, you can be rocking some really cool drip. I definitely am going to be purchasing this pack and putting this onto Undertaker, because I think that's going to look fire. This is a very, very cool skin.
I can't support hammer. That would be totally against my brand, so I'm sorry. I got to sit this one out, guys.
I mean, you know, it's fine. You know, you're playing Lord Rax.
Give me some Lantern Blasters, though, or give me a Lantern Lance, and I'll be all over that, everybody out there. So that's the Autumn Championship pack right there for you. And then we have some more information, I guess, about BCX 2025 coming up right after this, or maybe we're just going to tell you to sign up for it again. We're seeing Sora saying, I want that skin. Shout out Sora. Yeah, let's talk about BCX 2025 yet again, because we cannot talk about it enough. Here's PJ. Okay. Here's me. Here's PJ. Here's me. Here's the two of us back and forth. You know, both of us are actually going to be at BCX 2025. It's a can't-miss event. You would never catch two guys like us not there at BCX 2025, November 21st through the 23rd, a $200,000 prize pool between the two different game modes. Make sure to go to brawlhalla.com/BCX. It's the best tournament of the year, hands down. CEO is amazing. amazing. The midseason championship, wherever it is, wherever it may be, is always the second best tournament of the year, but that's because BCX, every time November rolls around, it's always the most exciting thing. Getting together with all of your friends in a single place to engage in the shared hobby that you have, however you enjoy that hobby, whether it's drawing the legends, whether it's making animations, shout out Pepino out there, or any way you enjoy Brawlhalla, there is something for you to enjoy with your friends and make infinite memories down at BCX.
Speaking of memories, one of my favorite moments of my first BCX last year is the legendary moment of you raising the trophy and the confetti falling, the smoke cannons going off, all the lights start flashing gold, and that's one of the things that we are trying to capture here in the new BCX emote, the legendary moment. It's really cool. That's one of the viewership rewards we're going to be seeing for the event. I believe we have a video for that, I'm sure, somewhere in the production side of things, but yeah, it's a really great moment, the legendary moment, if you will. Here it is.
Yeah, you can see all the legends that have won BCX 1v1. There's 2 in a row for Sandstorm. There's the Impala, and then there's Yu's back-to-back, of course, with the Jae-Yun. And then right before that was LDZ's back-to-back with the Koji and the Lucian. So you see the legends that won BCX from the different players in 1v1s. You see them on the skin that they won it with and with the color scheme. So that's just a little bit of Brawlhalla history right there for you in front of your very eyes. And you yourself can lift that trophy up. I'm going to say it. Most of you out there are not good enough to lift that trophy up. I count myself among the people like that. Some of you out there may be good enough, maybe in the future, who knows, but this is a way for each and every one of you out there, including myself and definitely including PJ. He's getting nowhere near that stage. That's
crazy. I have better chances, by the way.
Well, hold on.
I have much better chances. I am much younger than you.
We were top 400 in US West.
We were in fact top 400 in US West. It is very possible. No one is ready for Lord Rax and Thor, the worst team comp ever cooked ever. He hits an end light. I miss my side sig, and then he gets KO'd, and I'm like, absolute cinema. We're top 500 in West Coast, by the way. Real region, by the way.
That's the way we get it done, everybody out there. So this is a way for you to lift that trophy up above your head. Now, we also have something special to BCX. You can only get at BCX. That is the Brawlhalla Tales Nyx Deluxe Edition. It has a hard cover. It's a beautiful cover. We got to see it here earlier. They actually touch it. Well, I didn't touch it because I have greasy fingers, but not like I don't like steal things. I just mean like I literally have oily fingers, so I didn't want to like get it nasty. But it's a beautiful hard cover. You can see where it says like Brawlhalla Tales, it's like in gold, so it shimmers. Oh, we're playing the clip. Okay, just play the clip. You can probably tell based on the picture right there, that is a hardcover book, ladies and gentlemen. I have the normal one. I don't even want to call it the normal one because even the quote-unquote normal one looks unbelievable. The full color pages, all the art that went on. We have a physical version of it right here in the studio so you can see it held up. Thank you so much, Lefts. Wait, no, he's zooming in. Okay, come back.
Yeah, something I want to quickly point out is if you see the cover, it's very interesting because it's all of the artists getting a legend, whatever artist at BMG wanted to do it, in their own art style. So you're seeing like a large collection, and you're going to see the back there. You see Thor,
look how many characters are there, man.
Core, who's been there before, Caster Thor with the headset on. I'm fanboying for sure. That's a really cool Onyx as well. And then you have Odin on the cover as well, carrying over to the front side. You have Taros in the front. You have Nyx and Bryn, of course, Fate, Bodvar. It's really, really cool, and there's all the exclusive artwork from all of the artists in their own art style here, and it's a hardcover. It looks really good in person too. The camera does it justice too. The yellow is really nice. Different cover, deluxe edition.
It's
only
very
at
cool.
BCX. It's definitely worth it to go pick it up.
Go ahead and show them the shine on the cover on the word Brawlhalla real quick. Look at that. Look at that. Holy cow. And then wait, show them the sides of the edge of the pages too. Similar effect on the pages. You can't see it quite as well, but yeah, it's a similar effect on the pages as well. Almost pretty much gilded pages. Now you're gonna open it and show us some other things inside. The beautiful artwork. I can't tell you guys how, if you haven't seen the normal edition of the graphic novel in person, it really is like it's on a different level. You look at everything in the game and you see the splash art and you're like, yeah, that's a cool splash art. I really like that. But then when you have the graphic novel in front of you, it looks unbelievable.
Yeah, it looks really great. And of course, hardcover for those of you at home that have a little collection of hardcover books going on. There is your chance. Make sure only...
And we got it right here for you. Yet again, Left Stick, thank you so much for helping us out by bringing out that cover and showing the shine on it so everybody can see. It's a beautiful book. If you weren't able to pick up the standard edition, definitely grab this one. And if you were able to pick up the standard edition, also pick this one up as just a variant. You can put it on your shelf, maybe have one to read that you flip through, and that one maybe gets a little dusty and dirty and dingy, and then this is the display piece that you put out. Maybe you have like one of those pages that has your favorite art on it, or maybe your favorite character. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for this at BCX. I don't know how limited the inventory is, but I'm going to tell you right now, definitely get it right away. One of the first things you do should be visiting that merch booth and picking up everything that you like, because you don't want to be the person caught going up on the last day being like, yeah, I'll just get it later, and then all of a sudden that's sold out, or a t-shirt that you want doesn't come in your size and you're bummed out. So definitely grab that stuff as quickly as you can if you're interested in it.
Whatever the inventory is, it's -1 because I'm going in line. The first thing I'm doing on Friday is I'm going to get in line and I'm going to buy a hardcover of this book. It looks absolutely incredible. I love the artwork on the back. It got the Caster, Core, and Thor in the back hugging each other. That's like one of my favorite parts of this all. Yeah, you see that right there underneath Odin. That's also Odin on official the hardcover deluxe edition artwork. You see Odin in all his glory. Really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, artists really got to flex their muscles on that, and it's always amazing to see, because there's so many talented artists here at Brawlhalla, and we get to see their work all the time, but it's good to see like the next level of their artwork here with the deluxe edition of the Brawlhalla Tales Nyx graphic novel. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the post show. Thank you so much, Lestic, for joining us here as well, guys. That's been it for the online season. If you're looking for more practice in between now and BCX, go to challengermode.com/BH community. You can also go to Brawlhalla, challenger.com/Brawlhalla, something there. I don't know.
Brawlhalla.com/BCX, Brawlhalla.com/BCX.
We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in for the online season. One more thing.
What's shinier, this or mine and Sparky's heads?
I don't know if you guys heard him. He said, what's shinier, the Brawlhalla Tales Nyx like holographic gold film, or me and Lestic's head? Who knows? We'll figure out next time. Thanks for jumping into the